Good morning, it's Friday, January 21st. And the big question today is, what is Donald Trump going to do now? Because the Supreme Court, in an 8-1 decision, decided that the January 6th Commission can have the papers from the National Archives. Now, these are over 700 documents that will tell them exactly what was going on at the White House during the insurrection. Yes, I call it the insurrection. It's a seditious act trying to take down the country, like a coup d'etat. But meanwhile, Trump vigorously goes to the court all the time, every time, to block and delay, and this time it failed. And I'm surprised that there was even one vote in favor of letting him win. And that vote came from the ultra-conservative Clarence Thomas, one of the longest-standing members on the Supreme Court. And Trump's new 3 appointees all voted against him. So this is not a minor loss. This is a major loss. It's a victory for our democracy that these papers will now be in the hands of the committee to review and to find out and to prove to almost half the nation that Donald Trump was in the middle of this seditious event that took place on January 6th. That he was controlling the crowd to overthrow the government, to carry on and kill off the certification that took, 18 hours instead of 2 or 3 or 4 hours. And we've all seen the videos of the people running through the White House with the spears, etc. So while I have complained many, many times at the pace at which this investigation is going, and the fact that there's subpoenas that are being ignored and nothing is being done about that, this is at least a major step in the right direction. Maybe we'll get to the bottom of this thing finally, and some action will be taken before the next election, which is looming in November of this month. And believe me, the way I'm looking at this country right now, I think the Democrats are in big trouble in that election. And I've said this before, and I'm sorry that I'm being so repetitive, but I'm really, really happy that the Supreme Court has come to the right conclusion in my mind. Because you can't have 2 presidents. You can't have executive ex-president privileges. When the current president has said he doesn't mind, he's not exercising executive privilege. So we have a victory of sorts. We're going to see now how fast the court can move. Can they move with lightning speed now that they have these papers? Or are they going to drag it out and tell us something in July or August when the 2022 election will be looming on their heads? I understand the need for perfection in a case like this. The need to convince at least 90% of the people that there was in fact a criminal act that took place that day. And I think that's what the Justice Department under Merrick Garland, who got screwed out of his Supreme Court appointment by the evil Mitch McConnell, is being very cautious and taking as much time as he thinks he needs to get this job right, to get this conviction, to get this evidence used properly. And so he's reluctant to do certain things quickly. And maybe that's what we need. Maybe we need somebody methodical to handle this entire mess. And it looks like he is that guy. But I, a novice, an unknown, a man who just walks the streets and doesn't know what he's talking about half the time, feels that speed is important. Getting this thing over with is important. getting as much information out there before the 2022 election is important. And so you might say, I have ants in my pants or something like that. But in any event, this is a monumental Supreme Court decision in my mind. And maybe that will stop the litigious Donald Trump from continuing his court activities. And maybe he will now have to concentrate on his defense, which would be wonderful if he had to spend all his time on defense and he couldn't be running around the country inciting his evil philosophies and his methodology for the presidency. So I leave you with that. I leave you with that this morning, and this is a relatively short rant, but it's an important rant. So I want you to have a good day, and I want you to be smiling all day and happy that this decision came down. So I will just say bye.